All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 484 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. And let's be honest, who wants to talk about the Falcons right now? I really don't. I'm really disappointed in the Falcons, but we're going to have to cover them sometime this week. I just don't know when. Nevertheless, we're going to talk more about Georgia Southern because I'm excited about this team and the way things are going and where they can take where this whole situation, can take them. So we're going to get into all that, give you my thoughts and opinions, and we'll just go from there. If this is your first time here, welcome. I can be found on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to watch the visual side of the show, I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. Just search First and Frame Rates. I should pop right on up. And there's pretty much all the episodes from day one are there. But if you want to just watch all the other ones from, I think, episode 30 to now, it's on the podcast avenues. But we're up to 484 episodes. We're just moving right along. And I just want to appreciate and thank you guys for the support. You guys have been amazing this entire season. And we're just going to keep going, and we're going to be going faster. We're going to keep going with more expansions and everything under that umbrella. Enough of all that talk. I'm going to give you the sponsor, the ad affiliate of the day. Then we're going to talk about these Eagles. What about these bowl games that are coming up? Bowl games are coming up, and there's going to be a lot of money lines and spreads and plus minuses and, all the other good stuff, over unders. We're going to be talking about all of that stuff, and you can put a wage on any of these games using BetUS. The link is down in the description. If you put down $100, you will get 125% sportsbook bonus. Click that link, put that $100 down, and go ahead and bet on some of these games and win some money. You're going to double your money off the rip, and when you use that link, it helps the show. Really, really appreciate it. Just check it out. You can bet on NFL, NBA. Right now, the World Cup is going on. I'm pretty sure you can touch on all of that stuff. You can bet on players, quarters of a game, half of a game, the entire game, how many players will score, how many points, all that stuff. So click that link down in the description, help the show out, and win some of that money. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I done said enough about that. Georgia Southern, one season, I'm telling you, one season has made Georgia Southern the place. In my opinion, it made it the place to be, the destination in the SunBelt, hands down. I don't see no other schools are the talk of the town right now. Now, I know maybe you're talking about James Madison because they feel like they deserve to be in. Look like Coastal's on the decline. Appalachian State's on the decline. We don't even want to talk about them kittens in Atlanta. We don't talk about those kittens. Some of the teams in the West are doing okay. But what Coach Helton has done and what Cal Van Treese has done at the helm and what this team has turned around to be and the way that they've done it, one season has made this team the place to be, at least for the SunBelt. Now, I'm extremely biased. I'm going to tell you right now, I've been a Georgia Southern Eagle ever since I was young, born and raised in Savannah, Georgia, learning about what's going on in Statesboro. Always been a fan of the football team, and I cannot tell you how much this season has revitalized not just my interest, because I've always been interested, but I'm like super duper hype now. But the interest of other people. When people came to the Appalachian State game and the way it turned out and the way that game played, it reminded me of the games of the past, the SoCon games, the big games that we had in 1AA. Some of those playoff games. It just felt electric, and I wasn't even at the game, but I saw it on TV, and I remember being at some of those games and feeling how the power of Paulson is what is really real. It just felt like a playoff. It felt like a playoff atmosphere from my studio watching the game. But that's what happens when you bring in this type of coach. When you bring in these type of the players, these type of staff members. When you go out and get some veteran players that you know of. When you keep some of the veterans in that know about the tradition of Georgia Southern. 5, 6, 7-year players that know the tradition, how to be GS men, learning what this whole culture of being an Eagle is all about. And you only could sell that when you see good results. Now, 6-6 is probably way better than a lot of people expected. I had high expectations. I wanted them to go 8-4. But the thing about this is things just don't work out the way you want them to work, but things work out the way that they should work. And I think this is what happened here. I think Coach Clay Helton, defensive coordinator Will Harris, Coach Merritt, the running back coach, I can't name all of them, I'm sorry. Definitely Coach Witt, the running backs coach, offensive line coach, special teams, all those guys. I can't remember all your guys' names. I apologize. But these guys put something. How could I forget Brian Ellis? These guys put down something really special this season. Say what you want. There's only 6-6. Oh, it's just a bowl game. But when you look at what happened this season, the ups and downs, the high when you beat Nebraska, the lows when you lost to Georgia State, or when we lost to Georgia State, the highs again when we beat James Madison, the lows when coming off 5-3 we lose 3 straight. After you lose the 3 straight, you go back up on a high again, and you beat Appalachian State the way you beat them. This is what made this season much meaningful than, I don't want to really compare the seasons of a 2018. 2018 was a great season. I'm not taking nothing away from what Shy Wirtz and all those guys did. That was a phenomenal season. Coming from 2-10 to jump to 10-3, and that turnaround and the way things happened, and you put Georgia Southern back on the map by winning the Camellia Bowl. But after that, those next 3 seasons, you see what happened with this team. The whole situation with turnover and the whole bus incident. Not knowing what's going to happen with this team. And Jared Benko put things on the map. By reaching out to Coach Clay Helton. Reaching out to him and just wanting to have a conversation. And I remember this conversation. I remember what they said. He said, that 10-minute conversation turned into an hour. I think it was like an hour, 2-hour conversation. That one 10-minute conversation changed everything that's happened from that point on. Even with the season being 3-9 in 2021, we kind of knew what kind of season that was going to be at the end of the day. But we started seeing the transfers come in. We started seeing the recruits that Coach Clay Helton was doing. Do y'all remember going to every single county in the state looking for high school players? That's the difference of, that's one of the things that made the difference of this season. Getting true freshmen. And I'm telling you right now, some of these true freshmen, looking back what we know now, and I'm going to be honest, it's been confirmed by somebody that I know that's close to the program, very close to the program. There were at least 3. Well, I will say this. Two of them were starting day one. Two of the true freshmen were starting day one. But there was almost at least 5 to 7 guys that were true freshmen that could have started day one and made an impact. And I got this from a reliable source within the program. And those are the type of things that you look at and you say, all right, I'm looking at what Coach Clay Helton doing, bringing these people in, bringing the kids in, getting them to believe in something, even when things just don't look right. That UAB game, it didn't look right. The Georgia State game was probably the lowest of the low of the season, in my opinion. A lot of people will say the 3-game loss, that was the lowest part. But we had no bit, and I don't care. I'm not even talking about the rivalry. between us and Georgia State. Georgia State fans, they may say it, and they may want to say it to gloat and they may want to gloat and rub it in our face because they're 6-3 all time against us. But they had no business winning that game this season. None. Zero. An honest Georgia State fan will tell you that. And I'm not saying that because I feel that we're better than them more. But if you look at that game, they had no business beating us. Turning over the ball 5 times and then only winning by 8. You turn the ball 5 times in any game, you're supposed to lose by at least 20 plus points. Easily. You know what I mean? 20 plus points. So, after all of that, the 3-game losing streak or whatever the case may be, it felt bad, but we win on a high note against Appalachian State. And before I get out of here, I want to say this. These moments that we're having right now, I feel like that made this team the destination to be in the SunBelt. We made a statement in this final game. It told every quarterback, and like I said, I'm going to talk about the quarterbacks sometime soon, because I'm kind of a little impartial about the quarterbacks right now, but we'll talk about them and the whole transfer portal thing down the road. But it put every quarterback on notice with us being on the highlights with ESPN and the way we won in dramatic fashion. A lot of quarterbacks saw that. I would not be surprised some other quarterbacks want to come here and be successful like Kyle Van Treese. It put other players on the map and say, hey, look, Coach Clay Helton got something going on down there. Maybe I can help that defense out. Maybe I can sit here and we can run the SunBelt with the Eagles because the way their offense is running and there's openings on defense. There's a lot going on here, and it's because the one season we just had. Coach Clay Helton and company has done a phenomenal job with this team. And I feel like we can only go anywhere but up. This is when I said this whole situation with Coach Clay Helton, 40 years of the school football program on this, at this time, is one of the biggest program and the historic changes of this program. I think we're about to see the fruition to that, or the fruition of that. We're going to reap the benefits of that when we see these teams come in. Well, not these teams, but these players come in and continue to buy in what this program is starting to build. This is why this one season is so important. This is why this one season, I feel that this is the reason why it made to be the destination in the SunBelt. I wanted to be the destination. We got a couple of recruits to commit because of this game that we just had. At least one I know of. So we got a lot riding on the continued success. The bowl game is just going to make it even better. We win that bowl game, all bets are off. Because imagine you could do that just bringing together players compared to getting a group of players, getting a group of young men that will buy into a system for 2 to 3 years. You're probably talking about the next Coastal Carolina type of situation. And no, don't get me wrong. I know Appalachian State done their thing, but Coastal Carolina was like top 15 at one point. Louisiana was I think they were like top 15 at one point. I don't think App made it that high. So now you're starting to talk about being in that area. And that's one thing I know with the playoffs expanding. This is something that Georgia Southern and other group of 5 schools may need to start looking at. Don't get it twisted. With this transfer portal thing going on and the way things are shaping up with the playoff system, even though you got your Georgias and Alabamas and Tennessees and, you got the Clemsons of the world, you can have a shot to make something happen with the 12-team playoff at a group of 5 school. Because trust and believe, a lot of those guys that are transferring out, most of them ain't going to go, they could go to another Power 5 school, but they'll probably have a little bit more success in a group of 5. And you get a group of a group of Power 5 players coming into the group of 5, the group of 5 might be just as powerful in some cases. But it all started with Coach Clay Helton, a Power 5 coach coming down to the group of 5 and making something special, making this place the destination in the SunBelt. I still believe that's what it is. Yeah, I'm biased, but I'm sticking with it. That's enough for today. If you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Am I tripping? But I think this one season has done it. Going 6-6 and watching the sky's the limit. We already got rumors out there that Power 5 quarterbacks are probably coming to the school. I don't want to talk about that because it's a rumor, but I heard about it. I heard about other players might be coming to the school and make a difference that want to play. 12-team playoff. Just something to think about. I think we're going to be the premier school in the SunBelt once again. And I think it's going to be faster than you think. I can be found on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, also on YouTube and Rumble. Click that link down below. All my links, you can find the Discord, my Twitter. You can find all that stuff down there. If you want to support, the links for that as well. And if you want to bet on some games, go to BetUS. Click that link, put in $100, get 125% sportsbook bonus. That bonus will get you ready for these bowl games and other games that are out right now. All right, y'all. I'm going to be out of here. Y'all take it easy. Y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. Y'all be blessed. Peace.